Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is June 22nd, 2025, and bad news in regards to Dani Rodriguez as he continues to recover from that shoulder injury. Also, Barcelona are set to receive a cash windfall from a former Barcelona player that has just made a move. And finally, Barcelona are seriously considering the option of Marc Guehi. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with good news, or the pretty cool news that Joan Laporta has announced that all Barcelona employees will be receiving a bonus given Barcelona's successful season where they clinched La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Spanish Super Cup. Now, when I mean Barcelona's employees, I'm not talking about the players, the coach, or the staff. Players have already received their bonuses per their contracts. So did Flick, who decided to distribute his bonus amongst his staff members. But when I say Barcelona employees, I'm talking about, your day-to-day employees, people who, for example, clean the locker room, who wash the towels, who cut the grass, your day-to-day employees that are not necessarily athletes or have to do with the athletes, the cooks, for example. And while as a token of appreciation, Laporta and the board of directors have decided to give all the employees a bonus given the club's success, as a thank you, because after all, these employees are also part of Barcelona's success. It's not just the player, the coach, and the staff. It's also these people who make the club function from the day-to-day, who are also part of this success, who, without them, the club would not be able to function, and as such, without them, the club will not be able to succeed, right? So as a token of appreciation, the board announcing bonuses for all Barcelona's employees, and I think well-deserved and a great move by the Barcelona board. Now, on to bad news, because ladies and gentlemen, Dani Rodriguez will miss the pre-season tour in Asia. Now, as you know, Dani Rodriguez finally had his debut with the first team under Hansi Flick, but unfortunately for him, he suffered a shoulder injury where he had to undergo surgery in order to repair that injury. And even though there was some hopes that Dani Rodriguez could be back for the preseason, it's now been confirmed that he will miss the preseason due to injury. He will also miss the Asia tour. He will stay in Barcelona to complete his recovery. So definitely a big blow for Dani Rodriguez, who Hansi Flick wanted to see during the preseason to see if he can earn a spot on the first team. But of course, it is not over. Dani Rodriguez could still train with the team during the season. And if he does convince Flick, he could earn a spot on the first team, because after all, Flick has been watching Dani Rodriguez for quite some time. He thinks that he has what it takes to be a first-team player, but of course, he first wanted to see him during the preseason, so it looks like this will have to be pushed to the regular season. Now, on to the next bit of news, because speaking of attackers, Barcelona are set to receive a cash windfall from yet another player that Barcelona still owned part of his rights, and that player is now on the move, and it's no other than Ferran Juglar. You guys might recall Ferran Juglar, the 26-year-old center forward. He had his start in the Espanyol Academy, if I'm not mistaken, that he moved to Barcelona where he played with Barca Athletic. Eventually, he made a move to Club Brugge, where he had a good start at the Belgium club, but eventually that went downhill, where, well, maybe not downhill, but he wasn't as impressive as he was when he first arrived. So now it looks like he will be on the move again, but this time back to La Liga, and it will be no other than Celta Vigo, who will be signing Ferran Juglar and will be paying 7 million euros. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, Barcelona still own a percentage of the rights of the player. They own 10%. So once that payment of 7 million euros are completed from Celta to Club Brugge, Barcelona will receive 10% of that, which is around 700,000 euros, which not a lot of money, but again, given the need for Barcelona to balance their books in order to be able to register players like Joan Garcia and Nico Williams, every euro counts, including the 700,000 euros that Barcelona will receive from Ferran Jugla's transfer. Now, that's not the only player that could bring Barcelona some money. Of course, we've talked about this one in previous videos. It's no other than Mika Marmol, the 23-year-old center back who currently plays for Las Palmas, who have been relegated to second division. As such, he is looking to leave to another team, to a first division team. There are plenty of teams interested in him, but the latest one to join the race and the one who are currently most interested in Mika Marmol is no other than Espanyol, who now have cash in their pocket after Barcelona activated the 25 million euro release clause of Joan Garcia. And it's reported that Espanyol are very interested in activating the clause of Mika Marmol, which sits at 10 million euros. And unlike Ferran Jugla, here Barcelona own 50% of the rights of the player, so Barcelona would receive 5 million euros, which would technically reduce the cost of Joan Garcia, since we did pay Espanyol 25 million. They pay 10 and we get 5 out of that. It's kind of like Joan Garcia costs 20 million. Not really, but you get the gist. But hopefully this transfer can also happen pretty soon, because again, every euro counts as Barcelona attempt to balance their books, achieve the 1-to-1 rule in order to register players like Joan Garcia and Nico Williams. Now, on to the next bit of news, because ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are seriously eyeing and tracking a Premier League center back with no other than Marc Guehi. Now, Marc Guehi is a 24-year-old center back who currently plays for Crystal Palace. His contract expires in 2026, and as such, Crystal Palace are either looking to extend his contract or, of course, offload him, because then next season he would be leaving as a free agent. There are plenty of clubs interested in him, including Newcastle, Liverpool, and Bayern Munich. But so far, Crystal Palace are not willing to offload Marc Guehi to Newcastle or Liverpool because they don't want to reinforce a direct rival. And so far, the player has yet to renew his contract with Crystal Palace. And as such, Barcelona are keeping an eye on him to see whether he accepts an offer or renews his contract. Because if he doesn't, that means next summer he will become a free agent. Now, Marc Guehi is known for his defensive solidity, his tactical intelligence, and his ability to play the ball out from the back. And given that he is young with room for improvement and he already has international experience, Barcelona believe that he could be a great reinforcement for the squad, perhaps a substitute, or a replacement for Inigo Martinez once Inigo Martinez leaves. So Barcelona will keep an eye on Marc Guehi, and if he doesn't renew or doesn't accept any other offers, Barcelona will definitely look to make a move for him next summer, because again, next summer he will become a free agent. And Barcelona will be able to, scoop up a pretty good center back for nothing. Now, Barcelona are not considering paying anything this summer because his market valuation is 40 million euros. And given the interest from Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Newcastle, they're probably going to end up selling it for 60 million euros if they do. So Barcelona are only looking at this option if he becomes a free agent next summer, which the chances are low. But, of course, we have signed other great defenders in the past for free. For example, Andreas Christensen, who is the person who I want to talk about in the next segment, because, ladies and gentlemen, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Andreas Christensen will be leaving this summer, which is something, of course, I've been saying for several weeks, something that many reporters in Barcelona have been saying for the past several weeks. So congratulations to Fabrizio Romano on confirming the news that we all knew for many weeks, and that is that Andreas Christensen will be leaving this summer transfer market. This is a move that was decided by Deco because he believes, that there are too many center backs, and Christensen kind of is like the perfect market opportunity where he arrived for free. So if you offload him, any money you make is 100% profit. Also, you can remove his salary, and then which is not a huge salary, but it's a first team salary, and then you can replace him with someone from the academy who has a much lower salary, helping Barcelona's financial fair play. And also, by making money off the transfer of Christensen, you help Barcelona's financial fair play even further. Now, that is all for this news. I will be up That is all for this video. We'll be uploading another video shortly, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Viscarsa.